There's a song I'm familiar with.
Me too.
Now there is good news for brides affected by lockdown, as the Church of England has issued guidance on how small weddings will be able to proceed again as of July. But there's potentially bad news too. Yep, senior bishops have warned that members of the public must still be allowed to enter the church to object to a wedding, even if the happy couple is limited on how many people they invite. We'll put that to one side for 1 minute. I don't remember ever having, not that I'm an expert, I know I've done it a few times, but you know, not that I'm an expert. Hey, everyone in the street, come in just so you can object. But this is what they're saying. You know, and it isn't a joke, this whole objecting thing, because Nicky Johnson, I'm going to out you again. He'll be at home going, oh, please don't tell this story. When I got married to Nick a few years ago...
Nicky Johnson, one of our friends who's a very well-known photographer.
Yeah. He was not only the photographer for my wedding, but he was, as a friend, he was witness. And he objected in a jokey fashion at my wedding by, you know, the bit where they say, does anybody here know any reason? He went, well, and started, and the whole proceedings ground to a halt.
Because it's always a nerve-wracking moment, that, isn't it?
I
Even
know.
though you hope that it was not going to happen. What happened?
It all ground to a halt, and the registrar said, stop the ceremony. This is a legally binding ceremony, and you have objected. And Nicky literally went puce, and then white, and then grey, and then perhaps a little bit green, and was going, no, I'm joking. And the registrar said, no, you have lodged an objection. It all got very eggy, and there was a little bit of awkward tumbleweed where literally Nick and I are looking at Nicky and the registrar.
Because she could have legally stopped it.
Made that very clear. See, we were smiling because it obviously carried on, and we did get
So
married.
did he have to clarify that he was joking?
Yes, and he was told, even though he was only joking, it's still disrupting the ceremony. But then she agreed to proceed. So if you are thinking of, you know, lockdown's getting a little bit dull.
It should have been.
Yeah, I'm going to burst through some church doors. Don't do it.
I wish that somebody had done it at my first wedding. But I heard this funny story that apparently there was a registrar marrying this couple, and she said the usual thing, which is if anybody has any objections, please speak now. But she said, if anybody has any objections, don't speak now. They've been engaged for 8 years. You've had plenty time, but come and find me afterwards because I love gossip.
That's brilliant.
Brilliant.
I love that. Kelly, have you ever had this happen to you at a wedding?
No, I haven't. And I think that if I had any objections to, like, my friends marrying somebody that I think is probably not such a good idea, like if I knew before, I would definitely tell them beforehand, hopefully. And if they haven't listened to me up to that point, I'm like, you're on your own, mate. Walk up that aisle, go for it, have a good one.
I think people do their own thing, don't they? It's very hard to... we all have opinions.
It's the stuff
on
of
different
Hollywood
people.
movies, isn't it? But you wouldn't
but,
actually do it.
You know, in my first marriage, I mean, I remember not looking at my mum and dad walking up the aisle because I knew exactly what people thought.
What would you have done if your dad had jumped up, you know, dressed as Marilyn Monroe or something? And
Well,
said...
to be honest, he was tempted to.
Really?
Yeah, he was. But he didn't, because he said, you know, you're old enough, you can make your own mistakes, and I was old enough, and I did realise it.
But did they say anything to you before the actual wedding day?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
but only when they were absolutely pushed to it. My mum and dad have supported many relationships throughout my life and all my mistakes, but I didn't choose to listen.
No.